All right, so today we're checking out the Velotric Breeze 1. So this is the first generation of this new line called the Breeze. And I think what they're going for here is a sort of a basic, simple bike, but very strong, versatile, can kind of do a lot of different situations. Mainly for recreational rides and commuting. You can ride it to enjoy natural sceneries in your neighborhood, and it can tackle hills and mixed pavement as well. The bike only weighs 48 pounds. It is very easy to maneuver due to its light and balanced weight. And the frame is very strong. Its max load capacity is 330 pounds. So this particular frame is the large version. There's a little sticker here that denotes the size of the frame, and it is a Class 2 e-bike. The frame size for the large will accommodate riders 5'6" to 6'4". There's also a regular size frame, which is a little bit smaller for slightly shorter riders from 4'11" to 5'8". I am 6 feet tall, so you'll get an idea of how this bike looks in terms of proportions to my size a little bit later in the video. As you can see here, the battery is built into the frame, so and it's the same color, so it's kind of stealth. It's a 48 volt, 13.4 amp hour, 627 watt hour battery, and it does give a max range of about 70 miles, which is really good for this pretty lightweight bike. 13.4 amp hours on a 48-pound bike, pretty decent. So again, they're going for sort of a lighter bike, but also not sacrificing much on range. The motor back here is 750 watts. As you can see, it's labeled there on the motor. 65 newton meters, so pretty good climbing power, especially for the lightweight. Again, it's 48 volts. The derailleur back here is a Shimano Altus 8-speed derailleur. Very, very nice, and just again, like most Velotric bikes, all the equipment on here is pretty high end. You can see the chain is denoted 46T, narrow wide, and there is a little bit of a chain guard here, as you can see. And the chain guard is metal, so it's not going to break. So you can see back here, you do have these brake lights in the back, and they also act as turn signals. Got a rear reflector here on the seat post, and this is a Velotric branded seat, which you can see the springs in the seat for comfort. And we have the Comfort Max labeling there, branding. The seat is very comfortable and very supportive and made of breathable material. Should work well in most situations. And again, the seat height is adjustable, as I mentioned earlier, to accommodate a variety of different riders. And just taking again a look at the frame, you do have some mount points here for maybe a rear rack and other accessories. I'm not sure what's going to be available. I'm sure there will be some available accessories you can buy from the main site as well as third-party ones. Here's some bolts for water bottle holder, and then in the front here you can see some bolts here for maybe a front basket or some other accessory. So taking a look at the tire, it's pretty much a standard road tread tire, so again, probably not really ideal for off-roading. Again, no front fork suspension or any suspension of any kind on this bike. You do have a mount point here on this side for perhaps fender. Fenders will be available for this bike on the official store listing, so check the link in the description. The tire itself is a Kenda branded tire, 27.5 inches by 2.2 inches. So again, not super thin, but again, it should accommodate most road surfaces without any issue. In the front here, we have a reflector and a 400 lumen headlight that is IPX6 waterproof rated. And like with most other Velotric bikes, it does have the Apple Find My feature, and so we'll work with the Apple Find My feature on your iPhones to locate this in case it's lost or stolen. Also works with Apple Health, so you keep track of your statistics in terms of calories, etc. The battery is UL 2271 certified and IPX7 waterproof rated as well. The cells inside here are 18650 cells, and those cells are UL 2580 certified. So if you're worried about battery fires, this one here got you covered. In terms of the frame color, this one here is the Ocean Mist color. It does come in, I think, about 4 or 5 other colors. I would check the product page for the other colors. This one has a little bit more fun, I guess, colors. Not your basic, just black and white. This is sort of a, I don't know, baby blue, sky blue color. I'm calling it Ocean Mist. I think there's a nice purple color as well. The paint on here has sort of an iridescent finish. It's a little hard to see on camera, but there's a little bit of a reflection, kind of very nice. Again, the paint job is really, really good on this one here, solid. And you can see all the joints, the welds and everything are super smooth. They've been sanded down. Very strong frame, very well built, top-notch construction. All right, we'll take a look at the handlebar now. And you can see it's a cruiser style handlebar. So it does kind of slope backwards a little bit so you can sit up on the bike and not have to lean over too much. So again, this bike is kind of designed for comfort and versatility for a lot of different type of riders. These are the standard Velotric grips on here, very comfortable and secure. This is the controller, so you got your left and right turn signals, plus and minus for your pedal assist, and then you have your headlight and walking mode. You have your different, this is the back button here, and this is the mode button here to access the controller. I'll show you how that works in a second. The power button here is on top. The throttle on here is a thumb throttle, and it is removable in case you need to remove it for your particular location for legality purposes. The brakes on here are hydraulic disc brakes, and they are the Tektro branded disc brakes. And the levers are it's very smooth, work really nice. Cable management here, pretty clean overall. There's not a whole lot going on, but can't really complain too much about all that. This is the display. We'll show you that here in a second. There's the 8-shift Shimano shifter. You got your triggers here, forward and backwards, up and down. And again, here's the right brake lever. Here's a look at the disc brake itself. 180 millimeter rotors on the front and the rear. Again, hydraulic disc brakes. And here's a look at the rear disc, also 180 millimeters. And here is the kickstand. All right, go ahead and power this on. So just like the other Velotric bikes that I have reviewed, it does come with the same 3 modes. You have your eco mode, trail mode, and boost mode. So there's 3 different power levels. We'll show you how those work in the ride test here shortly. Got your speedometer, and you got your pedal assist level here. It's at 0. That's how it always starts out, at 0. Use the plus and minus buttons there to increase it, and you get 5 levels of pedal assist. And again, this one has the dual sensor swap technology. So it does have again, a single sensor but 2 modes. So you have a torque sensor mode and a cadence sensor mode. So right now, in default, it's in torque sensor mode. And to go into the menu, you long press the mode button. That brings up the menu. And here you can adjust your things like your speed limit. So I believe, so we'll go in here. Yeah, out of the box, it's 20 miles per hour for pedal assist and throttle. To meet Class 2 certification. In California, you can go, I believe, on pedal assist up to 28 miles an hour. So let's go into here. Yeah, so you hit the right and left buttons to increase the speed. So on pedal assist, we can go up to 20 miles an hour on, but then it's technically a Class 3 e-bike. You have to switch the sticker. But I will test this on 28 miles per hour for pedal assist, and throttle is limited to 20 miles per hour here in California. And then here is the sensor swap technology. Go in here, and you see it is default on torque, but we can switch it to cadence. But I'll start off on torque sensor like I usually do, and then we'll switch it in the middle of our speed test. And I'll show you the results here on this particular bike. And the rest of the stuff here, let's see, we've got riding mode. Yeah, so you can switch it here in the menu, but of course you can just switch it with the mode button easily. It's just it's an extra menu item in here. You get your rear light mode. So you got your, yeah, that's the lights in the back. Riding is steady and then braking is enhanced. Throttle limited, I believe. Yeah, so in torque mode, it is off. So basically, if you're using the throttle, it will basically give you full speed. And then in cadence mode, the throttle is limited. I think it's going to be tied to the pedal assist level. So I will show you that here in a second. And this does have a cruise control mode as well, but I typically don't use the cruise control mode. I'm going to leave it off, but you can, basically what it does is if you leave the throttle on to a certain speed for a few seconds, like 5 seconds, then it will maintain that. You can let go of the thumb throttle, but I prefer having control. You can always, if you are in cruise control mode and you want to turn it off, you just hit the brake and that will disable it, and then you can reset it. Again, there is an app. I will show you that here a little bit later in the video. It is the standard Velotric app, and then it does give you things like maps, and it'll track your ride and stuff like that. I'll show you that here a little bit later. So in terms of the build, pretty straightforward for this bike. You do have to put on the front wheel and the handlebar and the seat and the pedals. But everything else yeah, is already basically, it's like 90% assembled out of the box. Took me about, I don't know, 25 minutes to put everything together and charge up the battery. And yeah, but overall, not terribly difficult to put this bike together. I believe there's a video from Velotric that will go over the full assembly process, so I will link that in the video description in case you need further help. So the handlebar stem here is adjustable, so you can adjust the angle. So if you want to lean further back, you can make that adjustment here. All right, so take a look at the app here. Got to go into the bike menu. And I'm going to go down to connect to app. Right there. Then we have to scan the QR code with the Velotric app and have it installed on this phone. And we're going to hit the pair my bike button here. And we'll select the model. Then we're going to scan the QR code. All right, there it goes. Okay, we have to enable location service. All right, give it a name. All right, so now we're connected. Let's go ahead and hit the back button. Get out of the bike menu here and got your display. It doesn't show, I think there's a little link right here saying it's connected to the app. So you got all this information here on the bike display. You can get that all on the app as well. So you have to start riding. And basically you get a map here with your, basically almost the same settings as what's on the bike display. You got your miles per hour, your speedometer, battery level, your boost mode, eco mode, or trail mode. And this is how you start your ride. It keeps track of your basically your information here, as well as where you're going on your ride in terms of GPS. And you can see here that it is currently recording because the ride is currently active. You can go into your bike settings here, and these are all the same stuff that's in the bike menu itself. So you can change your riding mode, eco, trail, or boost. Change your screen brightness, speed limits. These are all things I showed earlier. And then right now it's on auto light. So if you have that on, if it detects that it's in a low light situation, the front headlight turns on automatically. Got your cruise control, throttle limit, and you can do that, set that in terms of torque mode or cadence mode. Turn signal, click, sensor swap, you can change it here as well. So all these things you can change here in the app as well as on the display itself. But I personally think it's a little bit easier to just do it on the display versus connecting your phone. And it looks like we have a firmware update. Let's see here. Yeah, it says that's up to date with the display, the controller, but the battery has a new firmware version. So I'll probably do that a little bit later, but I think that's pretty much it. in terms of how the app works. So I think the big thing is that you can go to your settings here, you get a map, record your ride and all of your settings for that particular ride, and you get a little database for that. So that's the main benefit for the app. Okay, so starting off here in eco mode, torque sensor, and in pedal assist level 1, the motor kicks in right away. You don't have to wait for it to turn, and we're off. I'm in gear 4 on the Shimano derailleur in the back there, and we're hitting 10 miles an hour right away, nice and smooth. Yeah, a little over 10 miles an hour. So run this real quick. Pedal assist level 2 in eco mode, and basically, in order to conserve battery, you don't get a ton of, I guess, high-end power. I guess I would describe it that way. To conserve the battery, it doesn't provide a lot of watts to the motor, so you don't get huge bursts of speed. So in level 2, I'm only at like 10.8, 10.9. So we'll go to level 3. And again, in torque sensor mode, you are basically, it's really kind of up to your effort. So the speed you're going to get really depends on how much effort you're putting into the bike. So it feels like a real bike with just like a little bit of motor assistance versus most, especially budget e-bikes. The cadence sensor just gives you full power, and it doesn't feel like you're actually riding a bike. So that's just sort of the big difference between torque sensor and cadence sensor. But just kind of pedaling, casual here, not too crazy. We're at 13 miles an hour in level 3, and I can sense a little bit of freewheeling. So probably need to gear up here. Gonna go down here and turn around for a longer run to the end of the street on level 4. Level 4 here. Gearing up, gear 5, gear 6. And as you gear up, it does give you more power for sure. 16 miles an hour, 16.9. And again, I'm in eco mode, so the power is very gradual. 16 miles an hour. If I let off a little bit, then it gets a little bit slower. So speed is variable based on the amount of effort you're putting in. So again, let's go down. Let's go to level 5, and I'll gear all the way up to 8. Let's see how fast we can get. 20, 22.4, 23, almost 24 miles an hour there. So the buildup in speed is pretty gradual in eco mode. So let's go to a longer stretch of road. All right, so I am now in trail mode. Pedal assist level 1. And trail mode, I think, is pretty similar to eco mode, but I think it gives you a little bit more torque. Especially, this is going to be more helpful if you're going to be on hills. But it's not a lot different from eco mode for my testing. So I'm just going to go straight to pedal assist level 5. And yeah, it's pretty much the same. Let's go ahead and gear up all the way. And yeah, it does gradually build up speed. So let's just go right to, all right, so again, I'm going to try this again, see if I can get up to the 28 miles an hour. I am at the top gear, gear 8, pedal assist level 5, already at 22 miles an hour, 24, 24.4, 24.5, around this curve here. All right, we can go a lot faster. I'm putting in pretty much max effort here. Yeah, I can get up to 20 miles an hour, even in trail mode. It's just that it's a little bit slow to get up to that speed. But if I switch it to boost mode, we should be able to get up to 20 miles an hour much faster. All right, so here I am, top gear, boost mode. I can already feel the power comes on much faster. I'm giving maximum effort here. Going into the wind though, 23. I get around this curve here. All right, going all out. Pedal assist level 5. 26. 27. Okay, I gotta stop. Interesting. It's not able to hit the 28 in boost mode, but the power at the lower speeds is much more versus at the higher speeds. So a little bit different dynamic there. All right, let's go ahead and I'll switch this from torque sensor mode to cadence sensor mode. You'll see a difference here in how the speed works. All right, so we'll leave it in boost mode here, and we'll just do, we'll stay in torque sensor mode using just the throttle. So using just the throttle, it should give us full power, even in pedal assist level 1. So yeah, I'm already up to 19, 20. And again, the power and speed is going to build up gradually. But it looks like with just the throttle only, I'm only getting up to 20 miles an hour, which is yeah. So in the using the throttle only, according to the speed limit settings I showed you earlier, I was getting a maximum of 20 miles an hour. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch this to cadence sensor mode. And save, confirm, exit. So now we're in cadence sensor mode. I'm going to leave it in the boost mode and pedal assist level 1. So let me, motor kicks in right away. I'm gonna gear down here. I believe in cadence sensor mode, we're just gonna get full power. Okay, so now, yeah, in level 1, we're at 14 miles an hour. Let's go to level 2. Yeah, I'm already freewheeling, 16 miles an hour. Gonna gear all the way up. Let's go level 3. We're up to 20 miles an hour, 20.7, 21. Okay, I think we're limited to 21 in level 3. Let's go ahead and turn around. All right, so level 4 now. Pedaling, 21, 23. Looks like it topped out about 23.9. All right, let's go to level 5. All right. This should get us to 28, 24, 25, 26, 26.7. 7, 7.7, 28. All right, I got the max speed. All right, so now I'm going to go back down to pedals level 1. Just use the throttle only. And yeah, we have our lower speeds here on throttle only, even with the cadence sensor. Let's go to level 2. That was like 9 miles an hour. Level 2. All right, now level 2. All right, should get a little bit more speed here. Okay, a little over 10, 10.7, 11.6, 7, 11.9. Okay, so let's go level 3. Not pedaling, just using the thumb throttle. Level 3. We're at 14.9, 15. All right, topping out at 15 at level 3. It's level 4. 15, 16, 17. That's like 17 is the max. All right, going to level 5, throttle only in cadence sensor mode. And 19.9, 20, 20.1, maxing out at 20.1 as it should. All right, so here's some of my final thoughts on this bike. Overall, very well constructed, high quality. Even at the very high speeds I was going at 28 miles an hour, I didn't feel like anything was kind of loose or insecure. I felt very confident in the bike. Everything felt really solid overall. I think out of all the different modes, I would probably stick to torque sensor mode, just to gives you the feeling like it's a real bike versus like a motorcycle. If you mainly want an e-bike for throttle use, then probably doesn't matter. I would just set the settings so that you can use the throttle. But if you primarily like to ride a bike as a bike, but maybe you just want a little bit of motor assistance, the torque sensor mode I think is the way to go. And you get the best feel for the bike, plus a little bit of motor assistance. I think that's going to help the most on like hills, or perhaps if you're just a little bit tired and want some help, you can always boost up that level there and get a little bit more assistance from the motor in the torque sensor mode. Overall, the quality of this bike is very high end. Not surprising, coming from Velotric, of course. Everything, all the components are very well built. Everything is just solid all around. Of course, you do pay the premium for the high-end quality. So as with anything, you get what you pay for. And for this bike, I think it's definitely well worth the money, because you're going to end up with a bike with a good warranty, well built, high-end components, lots of range, pretty comfortable to ride. Overall, it just checks a lot of the boxes that you would want from an e-bike. Obviously, there's a few things missing here, like if you're primarily looking for an off-road bike, this doesn't really qualify in my opinion. No suspension, of course. Doesn't have the fat tires. Not really meant for off-roading. I suppose you could do a little bit of light off-roading with this one, but I would recommend sticking to asphalt, streets, etc. for this one. And I think the thing I like about this one is that it has a really big battery for the weight of the e-bike at 48 pounds. Definitely a really good value, because typically if you get a light bike, you get a really small battery. Some of the ones I've seen that are in the 40 to 50 pound range and under, they have very tiny batteries, but half the capacity, like 7.4 amp hours, and they will have pretty poor range, typically 20 or 30 miles. But of course, you pay less for that as well. So if you're looking for a bike that doesn't cost a ton and you just want 20 miles of range, then yeah, obviously going for a budget option would be the way to go. as you guys probably already know from my other videos on e-bikes on the channel, I'm a big fan of Velotric's models, and they are well designed, and they put a lot of thought into everything that goes into it, which makes for a good riding experience, which is ultimately what you want from an e-bike, regardless of the price point. So with that, I'm going to put a link down in the video description if you guys want to check it out. That'll do for this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.